Hi, I'm Fran with Stampendous, and I want to highlight a few things in our new July catalog. And so this is the actual cover that I created, and I used our new 6x6 stamps that have this piece that pops out. And I thought that was a fun way to highlight what you can do with all of the little characters spilling out on the front cover. On Tammy's frame, she used the large 8x8 Decor cling stamp of the snowflakes, and the size of this means that one impression of it is going to cover the whole surface at once of a frame this size, and that makes it very easy to work with. And I will give you a couple of tips here in a minute about working with paint with it. And since that one was the 8x8, then I wanted to show you the new Decor one that is another snowflake one. And this one has a cutaway. It fits in there, but you can pop it out in case you want to stamp with it separately. So here you can see I used just the snowflake by itself, embossed it with shabby blue on a printed paper, and it gave me a really nice look. Here I stamped it, and then I just had a lot of fun doodling with my color pencils to follow all the curves and create a lot of pretty blues to make the white of the snowflakes pop. And that's where you can stamp it separately or pop it in and stamp it all together, however you like. And that's what inspired creating this little window that I did for the cover of the catalog, where I did a little cutaway of the one design and made a window out of it. Besides the snowflake, we also did a 6x6 of the poinsettia. And this one is a real fun collage which can get cropped several different ways. You could do vertical or horizontal or something square and always get a very dynamic look. And I did all of this with color pencils, and I had my reds and greens on the poinsettias, but I found I wanted a little bit deeper color in the middle, so I'm going to come back in and add a little bit more here just to darken. So that works out really fun. And then in the background I took a number of these different colors and I just sort of did a crosshatch approach with some greens, a little bit of brown, darkening it behind the poinsettias, kind of gave it some more punch. And then again, just crosshatch of some other browns will be all that you need to do to get an interesting effect. Now I want you to see, using the 6x6 poinsettias, Tammy Wilson used the poinsettia stamp in such a beautiful way on these ornaments. They are so elegant, and each little chipboard or wood ornament shape was just made so beautiful with the poinsettia just going off the edge. And the gold trim and ribbons just really finish it off. So beautiful. I want to give you some quick tips here for how to enjoy using the large 8x8 stamps. You can see I used these on these projects. Or now we're going to use the new 6x6 one. And I'll show you how quickly it comes together because of the size of the stamp. This one here is fun with the little clipboard, and you can enjoy changing out your stamped or watercolored art. Here's a fun little watercolor that I did, and it's just fun to be able to change what you display on it. And this one had a photo from my last trip to Italy, and so the browns worked well. And here we have all the snow. So let's walk you through it here, and you'll see how quickly it comes together. Okay, I've got a wooden frame, I've got a brayer, acrylic paints, a brush, my 6x6 stamp, and we'll see if we want to use the handle or not. And also I have some matte varnish. And since this one fits quite nicely on this smaller frame, and because it has the cutaway piece, I might make use of the handle. We have a large 8x8 handle and also a 6x6. So we'll see which one works the best. Okay. So I'm all for shortcuts, and I simply squirt my paint right onto the unfinished wood. And in this case, with an inexpensive brush, you could always do an even coating, but I think it's more interesting to have some brush strokes, a little bit of a couple of colors, and we'll just squirt some more on here as needed. The texture cubes are another really nice way to add some subtle patterning. So let's mix these two together here. Okay, so anyway, now I have an interesting bit of changing color that I like. And if something looks a little bit too squarish up there, maybe we can add in some other light brush strokes. So that was the Quest texture cube. Next, I'm going to take this matte varnish and a clean brush and completely cover this whole first layer. I can add other stamp and paint and other things on top, but this will seal in this first layer and give me more freedom to test the next level. I like how quick drying it is, because it makes this a pretty simple, easy process and well worth doing when you see what I can do over the top. Okay, I heat set it a little bit, and I think it's pretty much dry. It isn't tacky or anything anymore, so we'll proceed. Okay, so now I've saved out some darker blues. Make sure these are ready here. And just in case you were using the same brand, I started out with Whispering Turquoise and Snow White, and now I'm adding Victorian Blue and Wedgwood blue. And again, I'm going to just use some of each of them here. Okay, so then I'm going to use my brayer just to roll out a pretty flat area of paint. Okay, so this now gives me a quick, easy way to get the paint evenly all across my stamp design. And depending on how hot or whatever the day might be and your air conditioning or whatnot, you might need to work rather quickly. And I've put it on the handle because of the small piece, but I'm going to intentionally misprint it. Take a deep breath, just to show you that if I made an impression and I wasn't happy with it, the whole reason that I put that varnish on is now going to let me take this off and go for perfection. So look at this. I had to have it go wrong to prove to myself how well this would work, as Tammy said. And look at that. So let's say I slipped and the whole thing fell crooked and I went, oh no, all that time I'd put in on it would have been perhaps wasted, or I would have had to just go from there. But because of the varnish, again, that coat of matte varnish now allows me to very quickly wipe it off, come back, and I'll definitely want to get fresh paint on it. And we'll do the paint again. Make sure you cover all the areas evenly. And again, this is just hitting the surface of the stamp, which gives me a much better imprint as well. So now I can decide perhaps which way I want to go with it. This looks good. So I'm going to press all the way around. Ah, very nice. I got a very bold imprint by the extra pressure that I did. And let's ink it again and do the other side here. Let's see, I don't know which part of it I might want to use, so I'm going to quickly apply paint to the whole thing, and then we'll take a look at it. Since I did it this way, I think now I might turn it around and I'll just stamp at an angle off of this edge. Okay, that filled in beautifully, and now I'm real happy with that. So I'm going to let that air dry, and then I could seal and protect it with another coat of the matte varnish. But you can see what a nice trick it is to be able to seal that first layer, and then you don't have to worry about whether you get that perfect impression of your stamp on top. So we'll let that dry. Actually, while I've still got some wet paint and everything out, I'm going to pull away the background and have some fun just with the snowflake on our second frame here. Let's add a little bit of lighter color blue. Now we'll try a real pale imprint. Ooh, I like that. Those are the happy surprises of using leftover paint. Probably could even have done white and have another, value, but I like it sort of disappearing in and out here. Very fun. Okay, so now for cleanup, get that little toothbrush and a little bit of warm soapy water, and everything's going to clean up very easy. I'll do that at the sink. So here you can see several variations again of light colors in the background. I'll add a nice little photo here to my new frame. And you can see how many different variations we created. And coming full circle to the one that Tammy Wilson did, the dark blues she then stamped with the white, and that gave a very nice contrast as well.